Probably my grandparents told me about Jesus when I was very, very young. My parents were very poor. They were what we today would call migrant farm workers. They didn't have much of an education. They probably, if they made it through 5th grade in grade school, that's as far as they went. When I graduated, confirmed and graduated from 8th grade elementary school, I was the first in my family to go to high school. I actually dropped out of high school in my sophomore year because my father was quite ill and had a lot of health issues, and we had crops that had to be reaped or picked during the fall season. So I dropped out of high school only to re-enroll about 2 weeks later. Continued through high school. Really didn't know what I was going to do after high school. Money was very, very scarce. I knew I wanted to go to college. Like I said, I'd become very active in my youth group. I was also active in a group known as Future Farmers of America. I actually earned a state degree as a future farmer, and I'm sure had the opportunity for a scholarship to Texas A&M. But my older brother had joined the service, Army, and my father was still very much in need of help on the farm. Money was short, so we pretty well, or else I reached the decision that I would probably forego college. That's when he told me that he'd been thinking about it, and he really wanted me to reconsider, because one of the things his father had asked of him before he died was that he wished one of his sons or grandsons could become a minister. And I was basically the only one left in the group that had a chance of or wanted to go to college. So the next day I enrolled at Concordia University in Austin and worked my way through college, working at the university, going home on weekends to work the farm. The Lord further blessed me with a good friend at Concordia Austin that provided transportation for me when we went to Concordia Teachers College in River Forest, Illinois. If it wouldn't have been for him, I probably, would not have had the funds to continue college. While I was at River Forest, I continued working. I actually had 3 jobs at River Forest, driving a shuttle bus for students that lived off campus, working at a service station pumping gas, and being a security officer on campus in the evening. My health was very good, and somehow, with the Lord's blessing, I was able to graduate from Concordia River Forest with a teaching degree without any financial debt at that particular time. While in college, I met the love of my life. She and I were in the same class together. She graduated a year ahead of me because I took off a year after my junior year to do what I called at that time supply teaching. It was designed to give you classroom experience, and I decided maybe I could actually make a little money to make it through my senior year. Needless to say, I didn't make any money doing supply teaching. But upon graduation, I received a call to teach grades 5 through 8 and serve as principal and youth director at a church in midwestern Kansas, a place called Lincoln. My wife, Donna, was also a teacher, and she taught grades 1 through 4, while I taught grades 5 through 8 in a little country school with about 50 students. Our children, our first child was born in Kansas, where we served out there. It's amazing that we had no insurance. We went to a hospital in Ellsworth, Kansas, where Donna went into labor on a very early Sunday morning. We thought that we would have a baby on the Sunday before Labor Day. Didn't so happen. She was in labor for something like 28 to 30 hours, and our first baby was born on Labor Day at about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. 2 of our daughters were born in Michigan, where we had taken a call and were teaching at a Lutheran school there. They were baptized again within a couple of weeks after their birth. Received the gift of faith through the promise and blessing of the Holy Spirit. The end result was, being confirmed and deciding that what they really wanted to do was to do the things that their parents did. They wanted to become Lutheran educators. About 15 years ago, my oldest daughter, Amy, was diagnosed with cancer and had to have a breast cancer removal, and kind of caught us by surprise, wondering, why? When she's just 40 years old, in the prime of her life, teaching, serving, why have cancer that you have to deal with? As those 15 years have passed, there have been times and we keep asking, why? Why, Lord? Why can't she be healed completely? Why doesn't she receive some of the joy and satisfaction from teaching that, really could and should be hers? Why? I guess for all of my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whatever the case happens to be, want them to know that we live in a world which was created by an awesome, wonderful God who created us, who chose us, who gifted us, who blessed us with the gift of faith through our baptism, hopefully through your baptism, and wants you to know that He will love you at all times. He will never forsake you. He will continue to bless you with His Spirit. You may reject Him, you may rebel against Him, but His love for you will never fail. And so my prayer to you is that you would recognize Him, get to know Him, realize the gifts that He has given you, develop those gifts to the fullest, and give your every ounce of strength, not only to use those gifts for your benefit, but above all, to use them to bless others and truly enjoy a great life.